From international student to PR in less than 3 years. How did she do it? What are the challenges that she hurdled?
Hi everyone, I'm Chenania Malay. My friends and my family call me Chin. So I'm originally from Romblon, Philippines. I am a registered nurse and a medical coder by profession. And I came here in Canada last September 8th, 2022. It was such a memorable time because it was also the time when like the entire Canada was mourning for the late Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, okay.
So yes po, that's why I remember it.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the date that I came here in Canada. And I came here as a student, and now po 2025 I'm already a PR by
Wow.
God's grace.
Yeah. It was very fast, right?
Oh yes po. By God's grace po talaga.
Almost 3 years you're up here already. So what made you decide to come as a student?
Oh, because during that time po, it was COVID when I started to decide na, oh, I think I need to materialize na that dream na
Yeah.
pumuntang Canada. But it was harder po to find an employer that would hire directly from the Philippines.
Okay.
So it was really hard for me kasi during that time po, my work was medical coder. So, medical coding, my license po as a medical coder is under US. So, Canada has a different body for medical coding. So, I don't stand a chance po sa employment. So, when I was researching on the easiest way on how to get here in Canada, aside from visitor, you can also use the student pathway. So, I was thinking na, oh, kailangan kapag gumastos ka, dun ka na lang sa may goal ka na talaga. Kasi ang goal ko po talaga is to get the PR.
Yeah.
And then eventually maging citizen. So, during the planning, all my goals, all my plans po should be directing to that final goal, which is to be a PR.
Right.
And during that time, ang pinakamadali pong way to get here is student.
Yeah.
The downside lang po ng student is it's the easiest and it could be the fastest. However, it's the most pricey.
Yeah, most expensive. Right.
Yes po.
So you don't have like clinical experience as a nurse?
I had po clinical experience as a nurse pero very brief lang po. I think it was just 1 year. And then kasi during that time po, it was during my time that the nurses in the Philippines parang oversaturated na po kami. There were a lot of nursing graduates po. Tapos very onti lang po yung job opportunities. And also if you find a job opportunity, then you have to undergo another training that you would have to pay again. After studying for 4 years, then you'd have to pay again for that training. And after that training, is magvo-volunteer ka pa. So you'll have to work unpaid.
Okay.
So for me, it was like very abusive. And I told myself, I'm not going to go into the system. So I have to go find another path, which is yung medical code po, which is very nice po siya kasi it was still under healthcare, but it was an office job. And it was paying really well. So we're usually on electronic medical records.
Yeah.
Yung mga operations, surgeries ng patient, sakit nila, and then we have to transcribe everything into alphanumeric codes na may corresponding prices para mabill na sila ng insurance.
So when you decided to come to Canada, how long was the application?
I started consultation with an agency around February 2021. So I hired a consultant kasi I can't do both, like study po yung path and then at the same time work because I'm also working full time. And yung job ko po at that time is very demanding. Kasi it was COVID, there was a lot of changes po sa healthcare. So, we're receiving different codes. Eh, nasa training department po ako eh. I was training na that time.
Ah,
So, during that time po, ang dami namin kailangang i-update sa mga coders. So, busy po talaga yung trainers. Sila po yung pinili ko kasi sila po yung pinakamura. So, I had to be smart.
how much did you pay them?
So, I just paid 60,000
So,
pesos po. But when I came here and I interviewed my classmates na kumuha din ng consultants, they told me na yung mga binayaran nila was like 150 for a single applicant.
2,000
Pricey.
from start to finish.
Yes po, from yung included po sa package nila would be they would help me out with finding the right school and then the right program and then up until ma-approve po yung student permit ko po.
How did you know that they are legit?
Oh, because they have the kasi po yung mga consultant, they have the number, the license number. So, the consultant gave her number to me, yung license number po niya, and then, ni-research ko po yun sa IRCC. Kasi kahit 60,000 yun, hindi naman siya like,
Yeah.
pwede mo lumipad or whatever. So, you really have to be smart
Yeah.
kasi ang dami ding nanloloko.
Hindi ka na nag-research ng sarili mo.
Uh, before I before I decided to get a consultant po, nag-research na po ako briefly kung paano ginagawa. Nanood po ako ng mga ganitong interviews. And while I was weighing it, kasi I still have to save up po for my POF, yung mga proof of funds, and then kung ano pa pong gastusin, parang hindi po kaya ng time ko eh, na to study pa. Kasi I was working like 7 a.m. up until 11 p.m. during those time. Kasi ang dami po naming busy po talaga. So, sabi ko, instead of me, like, studying it on my own, tapos hindi ko pa sure kung tama ba yung magagather ko na information, then I'd rather hire somebody to do it for me. Then,
Yeah. So you didn't know anybody here, like friend, relative
Oh,
in Canada?
I have an aunt in Toronto, pero hindi po kami blood related. We just consider each
Yeah.
other as family. Pero meron po akong friend here in Calgary. So that's why I chose Calgary po to be the city where I could study kasi po I have somebody in here na close friend ko close friend ko lang po nung college. In considering po yung province na pagsistayhan mo or kung saan ka mag-aaral, I believe po na one major point to consider is that you have somebody you know. And then, so whatever happens, I can ask help from him or her. And then, safety. So, tiningnan ko din po kung, syempre, you're newbie, hindi mo alam yung culture. So, pinili ko yung Calgary kasi it's one of the safest. If you wanna really be safe, then you can go ahead and pumunta ka ng Atlantic provinces and you can study for 2 years. And you don't have to spend as much as you would be spending on the major cities.
Right.
Kasi mahal po dito sa Calgary, very crazy. So, may nakita po ako sa PEI. PEI, ang layo pala nun eh. Wala akong idea. Parang nasa around 13,000 lang for 2 years.
Okay.
And then my tuition fee sa Calgary would be around $16,000 for 1 year, 8 months. So, sabi ko parang doon na lang ako sa PEI kaso wala kang kakilala, and then inisip ko din kasi in western countries daw po very ano po talaga yung depression, so baka doon din ako madali. So yun yung mga points na iniisip ko kasi mahirap mag-start ng community when you're new
Yeah.
sa isang place po. Yun yung mga kinonsider ko, and then kinonsider ko din po yung pathways, and then yung minimum wage and taxes. Yun
Okay.
po yung kinonsider ko.
The agency gave you that information, or you researched?
I researched it, and then they had some presentations po where I would attend. Pero yung the rest po, I had to do it on my own kasi ayoko na, kasi they have a bias eh. Toronto is their bias because it would be easier for them to process my papers there kasi ano nila yun, comfort zone nila yun. So I had to do some things on my own po. So nakita ko po, hindi masama yung minimum wage ng Calgary po as a city. And then, yung tax nila po dito is isa lang. GST lang. Sa iba
Wow.
po, sobrang Manitoba po ata, I believe.
Kaming HST pa.
Yes po, yeah, dalawa din po yung tax nyo din. Vancouver is the same, Toronto is the same. So, sabi ko, I have to really be smart with my finances.
Yeah. Pero
So,
yung school mo dyan, ikaw nang naghanap or the agency still?
oh, they helped me out po kasi in choosing a program naman po, they told me that I have to consider kung it should be an upgrade. So it should be connected to my current employment para po madali pong ma-defend sa SOP.
Yeah.
Yun po. So, when I was, so nag-decide na po ako na Calgary and then the only thing I have to do again is to look for the right program and look for the right school. So, I did first the program kasi kung anong school man yung magbibigay sa akin nun, it wouldn't matter kasi it's in Calgary na. So, nahirapan po ako na hindi rin ako nahirapan. Paano ba yun? Kasi nung nagpipili na po ako, I can't be in nursing.
Yeah.
Kasi this upgrade, kasi meron na po akong, I can't be in nursing kasi hindi siya upgrade since registered na nurse na ako. So, I won't be able to defend it. And then, I can't take masters kasi may masters na rin po ako during that time sa nursing. So, hindi rin po ako pwedeng mag-masters. And I can't take business kasi I was in the business process outsourcing company, technically. Pero I can't kasi when I tried to study, ini-study ko po kasi yung mga business programs nila po dito eh. If I can match it with whatever I was doing during that time. So, hindi siya nagmamatch. Yung curriculum nila and then yung work ko po during that time, hindi siya nagmamatch. So, kasi more on business po talaga siya eh. Somehow, ako po is on an education department under a healthcare account or healthcare company. So, I'm more on education and healthcare than on business. So, I was trying to look and look and look kasi parang walang sumasakto. I can't be also a coder. Meron pong school dito, may university po dito o-offer po ng medical coding. Pero I can't also do coding kasi technically it would be somehow downgrade since I was already a trainer. Bakit ako mag-coder? So, ang mahirap po siya, para sa akin, mahihirapan ako mag-defend po sa SOP. That was what was on my mind during that time na dapat yung program na mapili ko would be easy for me to defend sa SOP. So, when I was browsing, nakita ko po, meron silang Health and Human Services Management. So, yung program po na yun is a hybrid of healthcare and social services management. So, under that program, may mga curriculums po sila for leadership, which is suitable for me kasi nasa leadership nasa managerial phase na kami during that time sa work ko po. So, may leadership sila, may administrative courses po sila, meron silang human relation courses, and at the same time, healthcare po sila. So, for me, it was the easiest program I could defend when it came to my SOP. Sabi pa ng agent ko, hindi, mag-business ka na lang, ganito, ganyan. Pero sa isip-isip ko, no, because I will be the one defending this. Ako yung gagawa ng SOP ko. You guys are just gonna edit it. So, parang ako, hindi ko po talaga ma-defend yung business program that time. Sabi ko, parang hindi ko kaya. Parang mas dito talaga. Kasi, in-study ko na po eh. Na-study ko na yung lahat ng programs nila, lahat ng courses nila, na-study ko na po. Pati po yung career path after. So, pasok po talaga siya sa akin. Kasi ang ginawa ko sa SOP ko is, I told them na since I was already in management, I can use that program
Yeah.
to further my career. Because if I do want to apply for supervisory position or managerial position, I would have that certificate na management. And it's an international study. So, mas mas ano siya, kumbaga kung gagamitin ko yun sa Pinas, I have the leverage.
Mhm.
So, yun yung naisip kong defense para po doon sa SOP ko. So, technically, ako din talaga yung gumawa lahat. Naghanap ng program, naghanap
Yeah.
ng school, naghanap ng city.
Right. Pero yung requirements after that, nung ano, sila na nag-follow up, yung agents na.
Yung mga requirements po, binigyan po nila ako ng lists of requirements. And then I just had to collate everything.
Tapos sila
So,
na nag-follow up noon or ikaw na.
ako pa ako pa rin po. Kaya sobrang stress. Super stressful nung process ko.
Yeah.
They were very helpful po. Kasi somehow kapag nalilihis na ako ng landas, they're trying to bring me back
Oo.
to the track.
Yeah, yeah.
Pero like most of the things na kailangang asikasuhin, ako pa rin po talaga. This is one thing that I want to share with people who will be choosing their consultants. It would be better po kung sa Pilipinas.
Okay.
Pero depende po sa knowledge ng, like it's a two-edged sword kasi sa Pilipinas po wala kayong problema sa time difference.
Yeah, yeah.
Kasi during that time, mag-email ako sa kanila and Canada is ahead.
Mhm.
And then mag-email ako gabi pa dito. It will take time bago nila mabasa and before they can reply to my emails. And like kapag sa Pilipinas, real time yung palitan nyo ng messages. And the thing is, with Philippines, you just have to be very smart kapag yung consultant mo is knowledgeable din ba siya sa processes dito sa Canada. Kasi on that note, mas knowledgeable talaga yung mga nandito na.
Mhm.
And my consultant during that time was is under IRCC. Yun nga po yung license nila. So she really has a lot of knowledge when it comes to pathways, when it comes to laws dito po sa Canada. So it really helped din po.
Pero
But
Filipino din yun? Filipino din?
yes po, Filipino din. Yeah, pumili ka din ng Pilipino para hindi mahirap makipag-usap.
Sige, sige.
I just wanna share na meron din pong mga free actually. Kasi when I knew na how to process student permits, my friend came after me. So, ang ginawa na po namin is nag-DIY na po siya with a little assistance from, meron pong mga free. Kasi parang kikita sila sa school.
Mhm.
So they will help you out on the process for
Yeah.
free. So that would save you up a lot of money. And then with your SOP, you can hire somebody to help you out with editing. And it will cost you like what, 3,000 pesos? Not bad. So you don't have to shell out as much as I did na 60,000 or as much as others did na 100K and above.
So how long was the application until ma-process talaga, ma-approve?
So, nag-start po ako ng Feb 2021. Na-approve po ako ng August 12, 2022.
Was it
Masyado
more than a
mas...
year? More than a year pa?
Yes po, kasi nagkaroon kami ng setback. Hindi po kasi, yun nga po, hindi sila ganun ka-aware sa processes here. So, nung nag-apply po kami, we're trying to apply, ang goal po talaga namin is makapunta ako ng December of 2021.
Okay.
So, winter. So, Feb 21, ayos-ayos, usap-usap. So, when everything is final na po, like the place, yung school, yung program, we started po June 7. Nag-send na po kami ng enrollment fee. So, I chose Bow Valley College kasi yun lang po yung my Health and Human Services Management na program. Nag-iisa lang siya sa Calgary. So, good thing yun din po ang chinus ko kasi ano po siya, like nasa along the train lang siya. Train
Okay.
station. I'm not driving. So, it was easier for me. So, June 7 po, nag-send kami ng enrollment fee na $140.
Mhm.
And then, nag-start na ako na mag-send ng files sa consultant ko. Uh, Unfortunately, na-waitlist po ako. Napasa na namin lahat August. So, I still had like August, September, October, November, December, like 4 months.
Mhm.
So, waitlisted na. And there's no guarantee for seats na po. So, sabi ko, parang safest na po yung fall. So, I went on to a safer intake kasi kung mag-risk na naman ako sa like other intakes na early,
Mhm.
spring and summer intakes,
Oh.
I might get waitlisted again. And then,
So
mawawala
you
na
have
naman
to
yung...
pay another fee for that.
Yes po. They're not gonna refund it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to pay, and I would have to shell out a lot of money. So I have to be on the safer side na hindi na ako mawi-waitlist. So makikita naman po sa site nila which intakes pa are open. So I opted to take po yung fall 2022. So it was also COVID. So everything was a little bit slow.
Yeah, yeah.
I was waiting for my LOA po.
Mhm.
Nakuha ko po siya October 2022 na. Nung nakuha ko po yung LOA ko. Very, ano talaga, like almost 2 months. So, by November 4, 2021,
Mhm.
na nagbayad na po kami ng confirmation fee na $1,500. So, yun po yung mga binayaran ko po sa school. Lilo kami after that. Kasi at least may school na ako. So, after that po, we started the student permit application po.
Yeah, yeah.
So, we have until August 12 to
Mhm.
complete everything, to submit my approved student permit sa school kasi that was the school's deadline for fall
Mhm.
2022 intake na dapat mapasa po namin lahat including the approved student permit or yung student visa na sinasabi nila.
Mhm.
Kasi kapag hindi ko po yun napasa, I will be out of the program.
Okay.
And wala na namang refund.
Yeah.
Maghihirap na naman.
How long did you process the student permit?
So we started processing po parang around February po. I started gathering na all my documents, the needed documents kasi there were a lot of documents that you have to submit po. So yung personal information po, yung names, birthdays, yung
Formal.
addresses, yeah, and then you have also to get your diplomas
Mhm.
from high school to masters.
Right, right.
Onwards po, diplomas and then TORs. So, lahat ng transcripts,
Okay.
and then yung diplomas po, and then lahat ng school papers po, even sa high school,
Credential.
passport, and kailangan scanned copies ng passport, yung travel histories, kailangan po lahat po yun naka-file, and then yung WES, yung World Education Services.
Okay, yeah.
Sila yung magbibigay sa iyo ng Canadian
Yeah, yeah.
equivalent
Mm-mm.
ng ano mo po, ng
Tama.
college degree po. So, yun nga kasi sa West po, I think it depends on the school. One of my friends who also graduated as a nurse, nakuha po niya is a bachelor's degree in nursing.
Mhm.
But mine po, nakuha ko is just a diploma.
Oh.
So, 2 years, 2 years diploma lang po ng nursing yung nakuha ko. Pero yung master's
Alam ko
ko po,
nag-masteral ka.
hindi po, kasi they will give you an equivalence ng bachelor's degree mo and then ng master's.
Mhm.
Dalawa po yung ibibigay nila kapag
Okay.
may master's ka po. So, yung master's ko po, it was credited. So, may master's ako dito sa Canada, pero yung nursing ko po is just a 2-year diploma. Yung proof of funds nyo po, so, yung, I did po, I did a support letter from my parent po. So, specifically sa mom ko. Kasi I was thinking, baka ma-short ako ng POF. Kasi I started saving up po. Noong
Yeah, yeah.
February lang din na nag-start akong mag-decide. So, kumayod po talaga ako.
Magkano yung na-raise mo man?
Kapag ipon po ako ng almost 900K po on that span of time.
Wow.
Kasi po 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Minsan po 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. In a student application po, what you need to present as a POF po or proof of
Ayan.
funds is yung 1 year tuition mo. It should show on your bank account,
Yes.
and then the $10,000 po na
Okay.
parang pinaka-show money mo to support your living expenses for 3 months.
Right.
So that means I have to have in my account roughly, since my tuition fee is amounting to 16,000 during that time plus 10,000, so I have to raise $26,000. That is for ano lang po, proof of funds.
Mhm.
So all in all, I think I had like 1.3 na proof of funds, and ginawa po namin show money yun lahat. On top of that po, nagbayad ako ng first term ko na tuition fee, which is 300,000. So binayaran ko yung tuition fee ko na 300,000 for the first term, and then nag-show money ako ng 1.3 just to be really sure na walang margin for refusal. Nag-provide din po ako ng mga properties under my name. So may property po ako sa Cavite and then sa Romblon. And then I also had investments. So nakatulong din po yun for home ties.
Okay.
And yung money po dapat matagal na sa
Sa bangko.
account. Yes po. Kasi, and you can't do parang large amount of parang deposits. Kasi you'd have to explain it bakit may biglang deposit. Kasi sometimes po yun yung ground for refusals. Biglang nag-deposit, may questionable deposit ng very large amount of money. So, dapat yung bank account mo is stable. It has been there for more than a year. And then, may movement po. So, yun po yung mga pinasa ko for student permit. And napasa po namin to is last week na ng June 2022. I was able to gather everything by June 2022 kasi ang dami pong kailangan. Kailangan ng medical. Aside dun sa mga sinabi ko, kailangan pa ng medical. And then, I did my medical December 2021. So, sa IOM po, we have
After na? Ang medical after na ma-approve?
Hindi po. After ko pong ma-approve sa enrollment ko po sa school, I did my medical po. Kailangan pa po daw kasi yung mga mga government contributions like Pag-ibig.
Oh, really?
SSS. Opo, kailangan din siya. And then I also had to take English as a mode of instruction na certificate po from high school to my master's. So, hindi na po ako
hindi ka nag-exam. You didn't get the exam anymore.
Opo. There are schools po who would just require you to submit a certificate that says that English was the mode of instruction. So, by June last week po, napasa na namin lahat. And then, waiting until August 12 na sa Pinas. It was already the deadline na po for submission.
Okay.
So I was like, Lord, bakit naman ganito na very crazy nga po ng timelines ko kasi every time parang sumasabit ako eh. So I was praying, sabi ko, Lord, August 12 na dito. August 11, nagpe-pray na ako, August 11 sa Pinas, na dumating na nga po. Kasi August 12, I have to submit it kasi it was the deadline of the school. If I won't be able to submit it, then I would be kicked out of the program. So very, very anxious na po ako during that time. August 11, hindi po siya dumating. So, sabi ko, ang sakit naman sa ulo nito. Ang dami ko ng ginastos, ang dami mo ng pinasa, and then maaano ka lang.
June ka nagsubmit ng requirement?
Opo, June.
Wala pa.
It was very very tight din kasi late din po talaga ako nakapag-submit. On my part, mali ko din yun kasi ang tagal ko po kasi na-submit yung mga papers for my like yung sa lupa, sa Romblon. Kasi kakabili ko lang. So, parang on the process pa yung everything. So, pero I don't want to risk anything po kasi like, yung unti lang yung home ties ko. Actually po, pinagpasa pa ako ng agent ko ng mga pictures ng family. I don't know if this true to others, pero for family ties, nagpasa po ako ng lahat ng angkan ko. I was checking every single line in the checklist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then, yun nga po, June. So, I had June, July, August. I only had 2 months for the approval. Yung mga kasabayan ko, na-approve na po sila. Ako, parang kinakabahan na ako. Masisipa pa ata ako ulit. Pero by August 12 po, which is the deadline, nakuha ko po yung, approval. And, ang Panginoon nga po, very on time po talaga ang Panginoon. Kasi August 12 in the Philippines is just August 11 in Canada.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't late.
Yeah.
I'm just on time.
Yeah, yeah.
So, sabi ko, I praise God. Saktong-sakto. Pero during that time po, I still haven't resigned from my position sa company. So, I had to, kasi natatakot din ako, magre-resign ako, tapos hindi naman ako ma-approve po. So, from then on, from August 12, na nasubmit namin yung, in-approve po ako, doon ko na po inasikaso lahat kasi by September, first week of September, I believe, yung sa amin po is September 3 ang start ng school namin. So, I had to fix everything before September 3, which is very tight. Kasi magre-resign pa ako, magbabalik pa ako ng mga computers, and yung commute from Romblon to Manila is very difficult po kasi COVID. So, ang hirap-hirap. So, ang dami kong kailangang asikasuhin. Tapos, ang ticket po during that time, since it's very close na to the flight schedule, parang abot na po siya ng half M.
Oh.
Opo, nagfa 500,000, 400,000 na po. Papunta na ako sa business class. Sabi ko, business class akong lilipat, mahirap akong lalapag. So, sabi ko, parang hindi ko carry. Kasi, wala na pong ticket kasi mahal po talaga yung tickets kapag around school time. So, sabi ko, parang magpapalit na lang po ako. So, that's what I did. Kumuha po ako ng later schedule, so I emailed all my professors that I'm gonna be late for a week. And then, bumili po ako ng ticket na hindi siya September 3, parang September 7 ako umalis dito. And it was way cheaper kasi nga, tapos na yung school po. So, ano na lang siya, like 60,000 pesos na lang. Compare dun sa tumataginting na 200, 300, sabi ko, hindi ko carry. Parang ayoko mag-shell out ng ganyan kalaking pera. Pero it's, that point in time, I knew that I can be late. So, for those na talagang tight yung schedule nyo, kasi mag-sell out ka ng 100,000 and then magagamit mo pa yun dito when by the time you arrive, magagamit nyo pa po yun for your living expenses. So it's not wise to do that. So just be late. 1 week is okay kasi they're just
the school allowed you to be late. You asked
I can speak of my school po, Bow Valley. They allowed it as long as you inform the professors that you're gonna be late. And I also it's very important po that you have network. So before I even came, I already have contacts with my classmates. Yung magiging classmates ko po dito. So I was communicating with them po regarding what's happening with school, nasaan na kami. Kasi kilala ko po yung... Yes po?
How did you know them?
Usually po we have group chat kasi po sa mga FB, sinong mag-enroll dito sa Bow Valley. And then they're gonna create a group chat. So, it's really important that you're there so you can stay updated kahit wala ka pa po dito sa Canada. And my classmates were very helpful po kasi sila yung nag-update sa akin regarding saan ng room namin, saan ako pupunta, here and there. Kasi nga, super late po ako. Siguro 2 kaming late that time na nakadating. Ay, hindi. Ako lang po pala. 3 kaming almost late, pero ako lang yung late na nakarating. So, that time po, it was very funny kasi that time, pagdating ko, I don't have a Canadian number. Wala pa po. Hindi ko pa po naayos yung phone ko. And I cannot connect sa wifi ng school. Kasi it's very weird. Parang may login sila something. Hindi ko din alam. So, nandun lang ako sa lobby ng school, nagpipray, Lord, sana may makakilala sa akin dito. Kasi hindi ko alam yung room ko. Sabi ko, hala
Walang
Lord.
office? Walang office? Hindi ka nag-email muna or ano?
Because our, ano po, I did a schedule that was very early. Kasi ang iniisip ko po, I would work in the afternoon.
Okay.
So, ang kinuha ko pong schedule was 8 a.m. Yung office po, mag-open ng
Ah,
9.
okay.
Ang nandun lang, ano, parang wala akong nakitang guard. So parang nandun lang ako sa ano sa lobby and then I was praying, Lord, sana talaga may makakilala sa akin na classmate ko. Lo and behold, may dumaan po.
Yeah, yeah.
Tapos hindi ko pa siya nakita.
Oo.
Kasi nag-ano nga ako, sabi ko sana talaga, I don't know, pero nagpe-pray po ako sana may mag-text sa akin or sana makakonect na ako sa wifi kasi I
Oo.
can't communicate
Yeah,
to
yeah.
whoever. Kasi wala nga wifi po. So, naghawak ako ng phone ko, nakayuko ako, may dumaan.
Mm.
And then sabi niya sa akin, China? Napalingon ako, parang pangalan ko yun ah. Hindi din siya sure kung ako.
Ah,
So, good thing tinawag niya po ako.
oo.
So, sabi ko, ay ate, buti na lang dumaan ka kasi hindi ko talaga alam kung saan ako pupunta. Kasi wala po ako ng ano eh, ng orientation.
So where did you stay at first when you came in? When you came there?
Oh, it's with my friend po, college friend.
Ah, okay.
So, um very close friend po kami, and then when I told him about my plans because I know that he was here in Canada na for roughly 10 years already.
Okay.
So when I told him about my plans, he told me na dito na lang ako sa Calgary and he would help me out.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was really a good thing po kasi by the time I came, may nagsundo po sa akin sa airport. And then may bahay. May bahay na po ako. And my friend was really, really nice. Kasi hindi niya ako pinagbayad for the first 3 months. Hindi niya ako pinapabayad. I
Oh.
told him na I'm gonna pay for like yung bills, utilities,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ganyan po. And then he doesn't want me to pay it until I can find my footing na.
Mhm.
So I was actually like forcing him, tanggapin mo na tong bayad ko kasi ayoko maging freeloader.
Did you work? Did
Ayoko
you
po
work
nun.
right away? Did you have work right away?
Oh, after a month po. It was really hard to find a job kasi wala kang Canadian experience
Yeah, yeah,
and they wouldn't usually hire you if you don't have any Canadian experience. And I told myself na whichever work ang tumanggap sa akin after a month, yun po yung kukunin ko. Wala na pong pili-pili. Kasi if you're gonna be choosy about
Yeah,
jobs,
yeah.
mahihirapan po talaga. So, I made it to a point na dapat after a month, may work na po ako. Kasi it was also depressing
Yeah.
to not do anything.
Right.
In your first 3 months here in Canada, I was down in the dumps po during that time. Kasi I think this is true to a lot of students, a lot of people who came in here. Kasi I would talk to my classmates as well, and they would also tell me the same thing na ang lungkot-lungkot. Kasi nasanay po tayo sa Pilipinas, very loud ang mga tao.
Yeah.
And then when I came here, my friend would work from 8 a.m. to 12 midnight po. So I'd usually be left alone at home. And I would go to school from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And then, pag uuwi na po ako, like 3 p.m. Ang lapit ko lang po kasi sa school din namin eh. Like 10 minutes away. Pag uuwi na po ako ng bahay, very depressing po. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
bakit ganito yung Canada? Parang ang pangit. It was such a weird feeling kasi I've never been as sad as that. Like, parang masayahin po kasi akong tao.
Oo.
Tapos, nung nandito na ako sa Canada na dapat masaya ka, it was fall pa po eh. So, gloomy talaga yung weather. So, ang lamig-lamig pa. So, parang, yung sunset po, sobrang lungkot, hindi ko alam.
Yeah, yeah.
I think if I went to a doctor during that time, I would have been diagnosed with depression. Kasi, naghuhugas po ako ng pinggan o nagdadrama po ako, umiiyak po ako, ayoko dito sa Canada, ayoko dito, like, hindi hindi ko kaya yung 2 years, kasi
Yeah.
alam ko 2 years ako magsistay eh.
Ah.
Super, super sad po nung feeling, and then magsa-sunset,
Yeah.
very depressing, very mabigat yung feeling, hindi mo po siya ma-explain, so I think I was really under depression during that time, pero sa taong gutom, hindi pwede ang depression.
So you worked after a month. You had
After a
work.
month, sabi ko, I had to work para hindi din po ako ma-depress.
Ano yung first work mo? First job mo?
First job ko po was first legal job. May illegal ba?
Legal
The
ba?
joke lang. Hindi po kasi sumama-sama ako, mga cash jobs po, sumama-sama ako sa like
Uh-huh.
cleaning, ganyan. I did it once,
Uh-huh.
pero yung cleaning na, yung nilakad namin papuntang work, mas matagal pa sa trinabaho namin. So, hindi ko na inulit.
Okay.
Sabi ko, hindi ko na ulitin to. Pagod. So, my first job po was child and youth care worker.
Uh-huh.
So, it's like, parang assisted living siya, but with youths.
Oh, okay.
From like indigenous youths.
Uh-huh.
Yun po
Kasi
yung first.
na-consider ka siguro kasi may nursing background ka.
Yes po. And then afterwards, I just stayed there po for 2 months.
Mhm.
And then afterwards po, nag-daycare na po ako. Kasi during my time po, iba na po ata ngayon eh. Pero during my time, I just submitted po my credentials and I automatically got a level 1
Mhm.
early childhood educator po.
Yeah.
So, pero ngayon, I think you have to undergo some studies na or exams. I'm not sure. Pero hindi na siya like before na mag-submit ka lang ng credentials mo and if your credentials are parang pasok doon sa ano nila, they will give you the level 1. So, I started in daycare and then nagtagal po ako doon for a year, but I had to make sure na yung works ko po is yung works ko would help me out with my PR application. So after a year, I did 2 jobs.
Mhm.
Nag-daycare po ako and then nag-pharmacy assistant na.
Mm.
So yun na po yung bale 3 jobs lang po.
Mm. So yung work mo at saka studies, how did you manage that? Ilang oras?
Oh, opo. Ang hirap po i-manage nun, hindi na po ako natutulog. Hindi po kasi, here specifically in my school po, you have to maintain a grade.
Yeah.
Kasi if bumaba ka dun sa ceiling nila, then ma-forfeit po yung student permit mo.
Oh, okay.
So, you really it's not that you have to do good, to really, really do good, but you really have to study para makuha mo yung grades na yun. So, during that time po, yun yung time na si Canada, they allowed students to work full-time. Kasi we're allowed to only work for 20 hours. Pero during that time, since short sa manpower si Canada, they allowed us to work full-time. So I was working almost full-time during that time. And at the same time, may full-time student din po ako. So, ano lang po, wag lang po matulog. Yun lang po siguro.
Kahit inaya mo.
Kasi, one time po, pag nagsabay-sabay na, kasi pag end of term, sabay-sabay na. And here po, it's not like in the Philippines. The study in the Philippines is very different here in Canada. Kasi here in Canada, it's all research. And then gagawa ka ng mga presentations.
Yeah.
So, parang, and then you have to do it in groups. So, minsan, kailangan yung kagrupo mo mag-meet kayo halfway ng mga times nyo.
Right.
So, sometimes I would come from work at 10 p.m. and then yung classmate ko, 11 pa siya dadating. And then we have to submit it at 8 a.m. kasi ang aga nga ng school ko. Yun yung natutunan ko po. Kaya sa inyo po ng mga students, huwag po kayong kukuha ng maaga. Huwag po kayong kukuha ng super aga na schedule. Just get like 9 or 10 kasi it's very hard po na magising ka ng 8 a.m. ng umaga pero natulog ka ng 7 a.m. May time po talaga na hindi ka na lang talaga matutulog kasi natatakot ka din na bumagsak ka, so you just have to really give your best kasi ang hirap na nung papunta. Tapos dito ka pa babagsak. So, ang hirap pa po kasi when I first came here, yung mga struggles po as a Filipino sa isang foreign country, the language itself.
Yeah.
I mean, I can speak English, but you're not as confident. I wasn't as confident as I am now speaking the language kasi parang, hala, bakit ka naman mag-English tapos Filipino na? Parang very awkward po siya. I cannot speak as I think. So, kailangan isipin ko muna sa utak ko bago ka mag-speak. Yung professor ko, first subject ko, first day in school, ako agad ang tinawag. So, parang tumirik na lang yung mata ko. Bakit ako? So, yun po yung mga struggles ng usual na magiging struggle ng student kasi you have to explain something but
Ayan.
you haven't hindi mo pa nabuo yun sa utak mo before you can even speak it out. So, parang yun po na medyo na-stress ako doon kaya nung parang mga ano ba, unang term, parang unang week, mababa yung grade ko kasi very stressed out ako sa culture shock.
Yeah, yeah.
Kasi Canadian, you were expecting Canadian accent,
Mhm.
pero yung first professor ko was Australian. So wala pa ako masyadong naiintindihan. Nakatingin lang ako sa kanya. Sabi ko, bakit Australian siya?
Okay.
Yun po. So, yun yung mga struggles but definitely if you have like a game plan in mind,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
then you would be able to surpass every struggle.
How many were you in class?
I think siguro po around 20 to 30 po. Mostly are Indians and Filipinos.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
international students sa class nyo?
Yes po. Kasi yung school ko po is parang mas ano po sila, inclined po sila to accepting international
Ah,
students.
okay, okay.
Yes po.
Everybody was struggling.
Everybody po, like, nakakatuwa lang kasi you're struggling at the same time.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you share your struggles and you share ways to each other
Yeah.
on how to surpass those struggles. Yung depression ko po sa Sunset,
Mhm.
ang ginawa ko po nun, nagstay ako sa public library. And
Mm.
then when I knew that my friends were also undergoing the same situation, I told them na samahan niyo ako sa library. Doon tayo magchika, doon tayo tambay. Paggabi na tsaka tayo umuwi para hindi natin nakikita yung sunset. And that's how we survive as well with others po.
Yeah, yeah. So how long did you like parang na-realize mo na dito na talaga ako? That you have decided that this is it?
Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next vlog.